My name is Kunsang and I'm a Tibetan, and I was born in Tibet, and I came to India in the year of 1992. After completing my university, I came to Dharamshala and I started this center called Tibet Hope Center. And now I'm serving as a director and founder of the Tibet Hope Center, and it's been almost 5 years, since 2008. And what we mainly do over here is that we are trying to make an individual independent. That's my biggest target. Because what I usually believe is that in a family, if everyone is independent, then that family will become strong. And then in a community, if we have many families which are independent, and then that community will become strong. And in a nation, if we have many communities who are strong, then naturally that nation will become independent. So that is how I'm contributing towards the cause. Mainly our students are from Tibet. So once they are not able to do any sort of communication, that means they are losing tons of opportunities. So that's why once they are able to speak or communicate with other people, then they are able to, open up and get more opportunities. And then at least they will be able to find a job. And somehow they are becoming independent. So that is how we achieve the dream or the goal. We usually, our target is to have very elementary students who don't have any experience of learning language or anything. So those students usually they spend like 4 or 5 hours maximum a day to study English. Because the thing is, we have to start from ABCD. Usually we have this closing circle at end of the conversation class, where each student will give a brief account about what they have been discussing. So when we first started, they were shaking and they are not able to speak loud. Somehow they are not confident. But when we keep on doing it every day, then nowadays like they make fun, even though everyone is listening at them, and then they feel confident. Everyone is eager to speak something. Everyone is eager to share something. So that's it. This is how we train them. Right now, the Tibetan issue is very critical, because just one day ago there was 58 self-immolations, right? So it's been 58, and the idea or the way we fight or the way we support our cause is through non-violence. And I think it's the only issue or only cause which is being fought through non-violence based on the country. I think it's not only important for the Tibetan people, but also for the whole country, or whole world. Because whenever there's a talk or a lecture or from any of these presidents from different countries, they usually say human rights and world peace and all these sort of things. But on practical level, they can hardly act. And I think it's not the humanity that they are concerned about, it's the economic that they are concerned about. In one way, we should get tons and tons of supporters, especially from president level, official levels, if they really do care about non-violence in the world. But we are not getting that support. It's well known, but being a well-known doesn't mean that we get the proper support. So that's the problem. Tibetan issue is not only problem to Tibetan people. Just to give you a brief example, like right now, China occupied Tibet. So just look at India, how much they are spending on their border patrol. When Tibet was an independent nation, they don't have to spend that much money. So, of course, when it affects its neighboring countries, then look at the number of the Indian population. It's over 1 billion. So that means it's affecting 1 billion people's, when they give a tax, it goes to the border patrol, right? When it affects India, then it will slowly affect its neighboring countries. For example, things might get expensive, which is being exported from India. And then of course in those countries, again, everything will become expensive, economically, right? And moreover, when China is polluting the whole Tibetan ecosystem, especially the rivers, then majority, around 90% of the Asian river comes from Tibet. That means they are polluting whole Asia's river source. So that definitely affects the rest of the Asia, and that's why rest of the Asian people do have a responsibility over Tibetan issue. And then the Western world might think that, okay, it's a problem with Asian people, not our problem. But they are and they might not able to find a connection to help the Tibetan people. But yes, right now they might be having a good life. But the thing is about the future. So future, we are going to share that water which is being polluted. In the future, we are going to breathe the same air which is being polluted right now. So yes, if you are selfish and if you really only think about while you are alive, then seriously you don't need to take any issue seriously. Like, you can just live happily as you can. You can pollute everything, you can make money, you can kill people, whatever it is. But if you are thinking about your family, you are thinking about your grandson or children, then I think we need to take initiative to save Tibet. When I say that we owe each other a lot, it doesn't mean that they have to specifically come to Tibet and help this country. Yes, they can choose like Africa or everywhere. Even the most important part is within their community, there are so many people who need help. For example, an American comes to India to volunteer. Then the question is there no one left in America whom they need your help, right? So of course there are tons of people who need their help. So I think the basic idea is, first you need to build your own local community, and then you can reach out. Once you are not perfect, if you help others, it won't be a perfect help. So that's what I believe. On human level, all these small things really do matter. Like, I don't know, refilling your water bottle, right, on environment level. And then, for example, especially those who comes from Tibet to India, like many of them are very young age, right? So if you try to put yourself in their shoes, like just imagine like what you were doing when you were 8. Were you crossing Himalaya? No. Where you were just living in a good family, a big house, and moreover you are complaining. But we don't have that opportunity. We don't have that option. But it doesn't mean that since we are from totally separate world, it doesn't mean that we don't have any connection. We do have connection. Because, for example, the thing is, why China is becoming so strong? Because your respected country have a huge business with China. And then who is suffering? We are suffering. So you are causing, or you are one of the cause for this whole occupation thing, whole economic thing. So you do owe something to us. Just in my NGO, we had over 4,000 volunteers from around 26 different countries. So that means we met around 4,000 different individuals, right? And when they come up over here, then they open their mind. Then they do feel something for the Tibetan issue, right? So they do accuse their government for taking such actions. So the question is, it's just a matter of time. It might take, I don't know how long, but it will change. And I am confident about this. The answer is you owe everything towards us. And we owe everything towards you. Because everyone is interdependent. If I don't take action, in the future, you might have a problem. And if you don't take action now, in the future, we might have a problem. Which means it's our problem. And we are the one who are responsible for it. So that's something which I want to say.